Perfect sense. And here's something else that makes perfect sense. We reported this on earlier in the week. This is the Irish News with a leaked health service action plan for Northern Ireland, which reveals that the 5 largest hospitals in Northern Ireland were no longer going to, or are no longer going to, accept walk-ins to accident and emergency by August. So you will not be able to just turn up at A&E and expect to get some support. The only way to get into A&E will be to go by ambulance. Now, they were claiming that they were going to create other centres, emergency centres for other things, whether you've broken a wrist or need an x-ray or whatever it is. But nonetheless, this is a significant change in policy. Well, it looks like there's a similar, not quite the same, but a similar change in policy coming to the rest of the UK, and that is in the form of appointments. So you're going to have to know when you're going to break your wrist or your elbow or your shoulder, Patrick, and make sure you make an appointment at A&E before you do it.
So it's a telephone interview. It'll be a telephone screening.
Absolutely.
So telephone triaging for A&E. They've already instituted this with GPs, right?
Yes.
They have. Okay, so now if you do this with A&E, you're more or less going to get the same sort of experience, aren't you, with a screen phone call that you do with your GP. In other words, they're going to be trying to filter out as many people as possible to keep them away from A&E treatment, right? Because
this is the case.
They're already being kept away from their GPs, so now they're going to be kept away from A&E.
So one of the reasons that so many people died in their homes during the lockdown was that they were scared to go to hospital. So the psychological operation had meant that they were not willing to go to hospital through fear, and as a result, people were dying of heart attacks and strokes. Now there's going to be a triage situation. So the fear isn't sufficient to keep enough people away, it seems. And this, again, is on the basis of a perception that there might be a second wave coming. Now, I think that there is going to be a perception of a second wave coming, because that's going to be something which is given to people through the mainstream press, a perception. It's not going to be a genuine event.
So as we reported before, Mike, effectively GPs are more or less shut down for normal service. Now A&E shut down for normal service. So the NHS, a large portion of the NHS is effectively shut down.
Correct.
I thought we were rebuilding the NHS. I thought we needed to save the NHS. It was a national treasure. It's providing this great service for everybody. So why is so much of it being shut down right now? I have an idea. If you can't get service through the NHS, wouldn't this open up an opportunity for private healthcare to sort of open and offer alternative services for money?
That's absolutely one possibility. The other possibility, of course, is that if they simply through the shutdown of the NHS drop people off waiting lists, then all kinds of statistics can be massaged to make the NHS look even better.
It's going to create a market for private healthcare.
Yeah.
And if you have a choice between getting treatment that you need and not getting it through the NHS, more than likely, what are you going to do? You're going to pay for it.
Well.